Shannon, thanks. Porn, prison population, and beer are all issues coming up in the race for governor and attorney general. They certainly caught the attention of Politifact Wisconsin and voters. Tom Kircher with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel here to look at the top four most clicked stories during the month of August. It was a busy month. Let's look at number one here. Scott Walker. A number of Democrats running for governor want to cut the prison population by 50%, and quote, that would require the release of thousands of violent felons. That's what Governor Scott Walker said. What did you guys find?
There were 4 Democrats who talked about a 50% cut, but the timing really here is what's crucial. If you do a 50% cut in the prison population overnight, a lot of violent felons released. If you do it over a period of years, not necessarily.
Okay, so what did you ultimately come to a conclusion here when you had a rating on this one?
We rated Walker's statement half true.
Okay, so there it is on the truth-o-meter, half true for Governor Walker. Let's move on to the next issue. Dane County GOP, the KKK, was founded as the military arm of the Democratic Party. I don't remember this one. Is this old?
Yeah. This is actually a fact check from October 2017. Sometimes they get new attention on social media. In this case, we found no evidence that the Democratic Party founded the KKK was part of that, and there was not even any evidence that it had a military arm at all.
Okay, so the obvious rating on this one, we look at the truth-o-meter. What was the call on this one?
We rated this claim false.
All right, this next one is kind of interesting because we've already seen a number of attack ads on this issue. It's Tony Evers versus a teacher who was accused of watching porn while at work. Now, this is what Tony is about. Is it about what Evers did or didn't do with the teacher who watched the porn?
The Wisconsin Republican Party has made a number of attacks on Evers on this case going back several years. There was a teacher who viewed pornography at school, but there were no kids present at the time, so he could have technically tried to revoke the teacher's license, but the law at the time required kids to be endangered, and that did not occur in this case.
Okay, no rating on this particular one because you have looked at a number of issues about this. So if you want to go back and see the specific rating on these, they are on our Politifact Wisconsin webpage.
That's right.
All right, let's get to the Attorney General. This was the #1 click story when he said, we need an ID to buy a beer. All right, what happened here?
The problem here is that Schimmel is referring to the state law that requires an ID to vote. You can't get a ballot without an ID, but as we all know, you can certainly buy a beer in many cases without proving who you are.
All right, so this was the most popular, but it turned out to be what on the truth-o-meter?
Schimmel's statement rated mostly false.
All right, Tom Kircher, we appreciate your insight on all of this.
You bet.
Shannon?